There is a type of pain that very few people can describe. It is not the pain of the ending. It is not the pain of betrayal. It is the pain of watching your children being used against you. Or worse, it is realizing that you yourself are doing it. Because let's be honest, when a relationship ends with hurt, with anger, with betrayal, the temptation to use the children as bargaining chips is real. Not necessarily consciously, not necessarily with malice, but it happens. If you don't do this, you won't see the kids this weekend. I'll tell the children what you did. The kids don't want to be with you. Words spoken in the heat of pain. Words that feel like power, but are really desperation. There is something that needs to be said clearly. When a child is used as a weapon between parents, they don't choose a side. They lose both. Because a child cannot love one parent freely when the other is constantly communicating, verbally or not, that love is a betrayal. And what happens to that child? They learn to split themselves in two, to be one version with one parent and another version with the other, to hide what they feel so they don't hurt anyone, to carry a guilt that should never have been theirs. There is a fundamental difference that many parents need to understand. The ending was between the two of you. The children did not end their relationship with either of you, and they should not be paying the price of a war they did not start. There is also the other side of this story. Those who are being used as a target, who receive their children full of information they should never have been given, who notice that the children come back different, quiet, tense, distant, who feel like they are losing their children without quite understanding how. For those in that place, there is something important to know. You cannot control what the other parent does, but you can control the environment you create when the children are with you. You can be the safe harbor, the place where they don't have to choose, the place where they can simply be children, without having to be messengers, without having to be allies, without having to keep secrets. And that, with time, makes a difference. Because children notice, always, not now, but one day. They will understand who created a battlefield and who created a home. Book Reflection in Surviving the Breakup, Judith Wallerstein shows how the emotional impact of a conflicted separation on children does not depend on the separation itself, but on how parents handle that process. Children of parents who respect each other after the separation have much greater chances of developing healthy relationships in adult life. Film to reflect on. In Marriage Story, we follow how two parents who loved each other can become adversaries in a separation process, and how the children end up in the middle, absorbing everything in silence. Sometimes, the greatest act of love for your children is having the courage to separate your pain from theirs. Emotional practice of the day. If you are going through a separation with children, answer honestly. Is there something I say, or do that puts my children in the middle of the conflict? Do my children come back from the other parent's home different? What do I do with that? Is the environment I create when I am with my children one of peace or tension? There is no perfect answer. There is only the willingness to put your children above your own pain. I want to talk about something I see often in my practice. Fathers and mothers who come to me exhausted, not just from the separation, but from the war that settled in after it. In psychology, we call it parental alienation, when one parent systematically acts to damage the child's bond with the other parent. But there is something that comes before alienation that many people don't recognize as harmful. It is the subtle comments. Your father was always like this. Your mother never put you first. Did you see how he acted? Phrases that seem like just venting. But that for a child are instructions on how to feel, on who to trust, on who to love, and who to fear. And the impact of those instructions can last for decades. What I ask of parents who are in this moment is one simple and very difficult thing. Separate the pain you have toward each other from the relationship each of you has with your children. You may no longer love each other. You may be angry. You may be deeply hurt. But the children don't need to know that. The children need to know that they can love both of you. Freely. Without guilt. Without fear. Because that freedom is the greatest gift you can give them. Tell us in the comments. Have you ever caught yourself putting your children in the middle of a conflict? Or have you been on the receiving end of that? Share this with someone who needs to hear that children should not pay the price of their parents' separation. Subscribe to Ties That Hurt for more reflections on relationships, family, identity, and emotional healing.
You came back from his place different today. Eyes looking down and you didn't hug me back. I know that someone said something to you that taught you loving me was wrong, was an attack. I wish so much that I could protect you from this, but I can't control what happens over there. All I can do is make sure here is safe, that with me you don't have to choose or hide or be scared. You are not a battlefield. You are not a message or an errand to run. You are my child and that is enough. You can love us both without hurting anyone. I won't turn you into a weapon, even when the pain still burns inside of me. Because what ended was between us two, and you never ended with either one of us, you see. Sometimes I wanna tell you everything I feel, but I look at you and I swallow the pain. Because you don't need to be my confidant, you need to be a child, not carry my weight again. I promise to build a home and not a war zone. I promise that here you can breathe and just be, because the love I have for you is so much bigger than any hurt that makes me wanna fight or flee. You are not a battlefield. You are not a message or an errand to run. You are my child and that is enough. You can love us both without hurting anyone. I won't turn you into a weapon, even when the pain still burns inside of me. Because what ended was between us two, and you never ended with either one of us, you see. One day you will understand. One day you will understand who built a home and who built a war. Today I just want you to know that here you are, free to be